Hello friends, today I'm going to share with you some cooling breathing practices, and we're in the summertime, so it's a really nice time to do these practices. So understanding the whole science behind yoga and Ayurveda, these wisdom sciences give us a lot of practical tips on how to take care of our body and our mind. So when I talk about being in the summer season, and when you look through the lens of Ayurveda, it talks about all the elements that are present in nature are present in each one of us. And, everybody has a unique constitution, but we all have the five elements. So summer is a time that when we have the fire element really active outside in nature. And the fire and the water constitute a Pitta dosha. So that's the constitution that we see out in nature, and it's there. Some of us have that constitution that could be dominant, but each one of us have a little bit, like I said, of all the elements. So noticing the qualities of fire. So fire is hot, it spreads, it's oily, and then kind of understanding, like it is very powerful, it gives light, but fire can also burn. So when you kind of start to look through that lens and you start to see what is happening in the body as well, it can create, if there is an imbalance of the fire element, especially because we are in that time of the year where the fire element is powerful outside, it could cause imbalances. So you could see it in terms of indigestion or acidity, it's high blood pressure, and mentally in the mind there is too much activity, irritation, anger. People are more prone towards getting these excessive mental stimulation going on. And understanding too, I find like sometimes in our culture, we want to do too much. So summertime we feel, oh, the weather is nice and you want to do everything, and then you get burnt out. And that's what fire does. So we want to be mindful. We want to kind of cultivate that awareness of what is happening in the body, what is happening in the mind, what is happening outside in nature, and then use these wonderful practices so we can find a sense of balance. So remembering again, yoga and Ayurveda practices are always moving us towards a sense of balance. So the practices that I wanted to share with you today is the first one is the Sheetali Pranayama. So Sheetal again is a cooling breath, and the emphasis is on the inhalation. So you're inhaling through your mouth, and the idea is to just kind of make your like a little rounded shape with your mouth, and then take your tongue out, and then curl the sides of your tongue like a little taco, like curl the sides. So now there are there are about 25-30% of the population that can curl their tongue, and I'm one of them. So in that case, you would do another pranayama called Sheetkari pranayama, or hissing breath, in which you take your front and your bottom teeth together, and you'll place your tongue behind your teeth. Okay, so it's gonna look like this, your tongue behind the teeth. Make sure you relax your jaw so you're not holding any tension. Always doing these practices sitting down, nice and tall with the spine. You can sit on the ground, on a bolster or a blanket or a block, or you can sit on a chair with your feet on the ground. So bringing your teeth to touch, your tongue behind your teeth. So we'll just practice maybe 3 rounds so you get an idea. So remember, we're inhaling through the mouth, and then you're exhaling out through your nose. And we're not going to, just the first part of the breathing, just breathing in and out. So we're not doing any retention, just breath in and breath out. Okay, so tall spine. So you will start to feel that cooling sensation as you draw the breath in through your teeth, through your mouth. The same thing with the pranayama I talked about before, Sheetali. So if you can take your tongue out, curl the sides of your tongue, you'll do the same thing. You'll inhale through the tongue, You'll take your tongue in, close your mouth, exhale out through your nose. Okay, so like I said, you can, do this kind of breathing anywhere from 3 to 5 to 11 rounds, even longer. Ideally in the summertime, so you don't want to do this practice when it's cold outside, obviously, and you don't want to do this practice when you have a cold as well. So like I said, these practices are beneficial for any kind of hyperacidity, high blood pressure, anger, irritation in the mind. The other practice I want to talk to you about is called Chandra Beta pranayama, which is Chandra signifies the moon energy. And when we talk about the moon energy and we talk about Hatha Yoga, it talks about Ha and Tha, the sun and the moon. We talk about the nadis, which are, different. They're the different channels in the body, a lot of nerves in the body, and it's the subtle energy body that we're talking about. And the three main nadis, or the three main channels, are the sun, the moon, and then the main channel, which is the Sushumna. So the sun is the Pingala nadi, which is your right nostril. Your moon is your Ida nadi, which is your left nostril, and then the central channel is the Sushumna. So we're always trying to make sure that we have the breath flowing freely through through all three channels actually, but the idea is to keep the cleansing of both the nostrils so it can flow through the Sushumna. In our practice today, we are activating the Chandra Beta, which is the Ida channel of the body. So again, when we are breathing in and out through the left nostril, that is the Ida channel, we activate the right side of the brain. So it stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system. So again, it's a very cooling practice. Like I said, it cools the body, it cools the mind, it relaxes your body, and it's really calming. So if you find that you're getting aggravated, if you do have that excess Pitta energy in you, excess of the fire, this is a really nice practice to do. But without, doesn't matter, even if you're not a very high Pitta person, it's nice to sometimes do this different practices, so we can just kind of use these practices to help us, body and mind. So for the Chandra Beta, we're just going to take the right palm. We're going to take the first two fingers in Vishnu Mudra towards the palm of our hand. We're going to use the thumb and the other two fingers. So again, always sitting with a tall spine. So we're inhaling through the left and we're exhaling through the right. That's all we're going to do. So again, focus and emphasis is on the inhalation and thinking of just cooling, calming qualities as you're inviting the breath in, and then you exhale through your other nostril. So we are not going to do any retention. All we're going to do is breathing in for 4 counts and then breathing out for 8 counts. If you're not comfortable in the beginning, just do an even ratio of breath and then gradually start to extend your exhalation. Okay, so let's practice for a few rounds. We're going to close the right nostril, inhale through the left, close the left, exhale right. Close the right, inhale left, close the left, exhale right. Continue. So like I said, you can continue for a couple of rounds, just working yourself up to 11 rounds, or even, a little bit more if you're comfortable. And then, after you finish this practice, just sit down, feel the breath coming in and out through both nostrils. Notice how you feel. So always kind of really creating that awareness of how these practices make you feel. So pranayama is a very subtle practice, but it's got so much amazing benefits when you start to get deeper into the pranayama practices. So take the time and practice. And like I said, just kind of get to know. It's very unique once you start to get into these practices, understanding, what is happening in the body, what is happening outside in nature, and in doing things that really make us feel that we're moving towards a sense of balance. So hope you can kind of take this time to enjoy some of the cooling practices and enjoy the summertime. So keep yourself cool, calm, and relaxed. Thank you.